Welcome to the presentation of International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships. This is Annex 5 of Marpol 73/78 presentation. So we will talk about the measurements for the prevention of pollution by garbage. So this is a very important aspect of the prevention of pollution from ships, and this is Annex 5 out of this structure you see, and we will talk about the definitions, the requirements, the application, and other important stuff related to garbage pollution prevention. So what is garbage according to Annex 5? There is a definition of garbage which says that garbage is all kinds of victual, domestic and operational waste, excluding fresh fish and parts thereof, generated during the normal operation of the ship and liable to be disposed of continuously or periodically, except those substances which are defined or listed in other annexes to the present convention. So what does it mean? It means that annexes of Marpol, which are related to oil, noxious substances, the air pollution and sewage, so it's not related to the garbage. So we cannot call the oil from vessels as a garbage. So not in any case. So the requirements of Annex 5 entered into force at the beginning of 1998, and they are applicable to all vessels more than 400 gross tonnage or certified for the transport of more than 15 people. So this is first point, yes, related to vessels. And the second is annexes requirements are applicable to platforms floating or fixed used for exploring the seabed. Why it is so? Because it is populated by human beings, and we are producers of this garbage. So we need to understand it. So there are two aspects of garbage disposal effects. So the biological effect, it's plastics do not biodegrade. So it means it doesn't fall apart, and animals can mistake plastic for food. They can eat it, they can poison themselves. Aquatic animals get trapped in plastic ropes, nets, bags, etc. So not only in small fishes, yes, or animals, but you can imagine that huge sharks or whales also can be trapped by plastic ropes and nets. Plastic can kill bottom growing plants. This is also a very negative effect when it's collected in some area, and plants cannot grow up, and the fishes cannot eat it, yes? So food waste is usually biodegradable, but may upset balance of food chain and may promote algae blooms. So this is also important that even the food, waste is not so dangerous, but when we are talking about a huge amount, it is very negatively affecting the environment. So not only biological, but there is also economic effect. So garbage can become attached to ships and their equipment, and it will bring the problem for the movement of the vessels. A lot of vessels has just propellers stuck with ropes on, leftovers of nets. So and even the vessels can be trapped. So for the touristic industry, There is, of course, nothing good on the beaches with a lot of garbage, and which smells bad. They are just spoiling the views on the ocean beach and so on. So this is negative effect of the on the coastal business for the coastal population. So here you see the table of time, yes, so biodegradability of garbage in the ocean. So it takes a lot of time to degrade, yes, biodegrade leftovers. So no problem, no so big problem with paper, yes, and the cotton sacks, yeah, more or less plus minus. But when we come to the tin can, yeah, you see it's 100 years. When we are talking painted wood, so it's 13 years. So the aluminum can, of course, it's up to 500 years. Plastic bottles will biodegrade during upcoming 450 years. This is, just inappropriate behavior when the humans, the people all around the world, they just threw away the plastic bottles and don't care about the environment. So you can imagine that these bottles, yes, can be brought to the seas or oceans by the rivers, and even the population, the people which are living, on rivers, banks, far away from ocean, even they can affect this environmental problem. Yes. So let's go back to the maritime pollution. So, and we have instruments. Please try to memorize all of them. So this is first instrument. It's a garbage management plan. So we, as a seafarers on board of the vessels more than 400 gross tonnage, or vessels with more than 15 people on board, so we need to have a management plan. So what is important? So the separated collection on board of this garbage, separated reception facilities ashore in the port area. So we need to limit discharge the garbage at sea, and every vessel should have a garbage record book. Please remember 2 documents. First is a garbage management plan, and second is garbage record book. 1 and 2. So these instruments, yes, makes emission to the sea limited. So we have different types: domestic waste, yes, and operational waste. So in domestic waste we have galleys, leftovers, cleaning chemicals, package materials, etc. And operational waste is stowage, wood, nylon ropes, etc. So these are garbage should be collected separately. So, and of course, in some cases it can be discharged at sea, but we need to follow the rules of disposal. Plastic, floating, pulverized paper, non-pulverized paper, food and incinerator residues. There are 6 categories of garbage, and we need to, you as a future officers, yes, maritime officers, you have to clearly understand these categories of garbage. Here you see the table with requirements for the disposal of garbage at sea. First of all, let's pay attention to the stuff which is completely prohibited to the disposal. So, first of all, plastics, including ropes, nets, bags. Any plastic stuff is prohibited outside special areas. It means all the world oceans, and in special areas especially. So this is first point. Second point, in special areas, everything of garbage is prohibited except the food waste community or ground. So even these food waste should be disposed more than 12 nautical miles out of the coastal area. So this is very important. So let's go to stuff which is not prohibited, which is allowed, but there is also some limitations. So floating, dunnage, lining, packing materials can be disposed more than 25 nautical miles offshore. Ground down paper products, rugs, glass, metal, bottles, crockery, not plastic, yes, pay attention, more than 3 nautical miles offshore. Cargo residues, paper products, rags, glass, metal, bottles, crockery, more than 12 nautical miles ashore. And food waste community more than 12 nautical miles, and incinerator ashes, it's again 12 nautical miles offshore. So incinerator ashes, yes, it's a stuff which is left over out of the fired stuff which we can just burn in the incinerator. So incinerator, it's a type of the oven where you just put everything in fire. Of course, this slide is especially put here, so we recommend you to find out some videos on the YouTube platform, and it will be very useful to you to understand how the garbage is affecting our environment. So there are a lot of different videos, and please find it by yourself. Try to make some small research and put it in the knowledge on the of the Annex 5. So discharge regulations, yes, platforms and vessels inside 500 meters zone. So around the platforms there is a zone where the platform is responsible. So, and it will be a pulverized food waste, yes, maximum 25 millimeters, at least 12 nautical miles from nearest land for the vessels. So, exemption or incidents. So, in case of incident, you can dispose the garbage, but you have to write it down, the information about this incident, to the garbage record book, GRB. So what kind of information? It's a date and time, so birth or position where it was happened, estimate amount in cubic meters, so category of waste, of garbage, circumstances and reason of discharge. Under the Annex 5, there are special areas and particularly sensitive sea areas. So in some cases they are intersect each other, these two lists, but please remember them. So first of all, you can imagine in your mind the globe with all these seas and find that these areas are special areas. So Mediterranean Sea, Baltic, Black and the Red Sea, Gulf area, Arabian and Gulf of Oman, so North Sea. The Antarctic Ocean is completely belongs to the special area. So the wider Caribbean region, including Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean Sea itself. So there is a list of PSSAs, yes, particularly sensitive sea areas. So Great Barrier Reef, Australia, Sabana Camaggiar Archipelago, it's a Cuban area. So Malpelo Island, Colombia, Florida Keys, USA, Wadden Sea, Denmark, Netherlands and Germany, Parashas National Reserve, Peru, Arabian Sea, Gulf of Oman. So special need of protection against marine pollution from shipping and dumping because of their renewable resources. So we need to take care about it. PSSA areas approved in principle new PSSAs. So these special areas or PSSAs should be approved by International Maritime Organization, and it's a going on process. So Baltic Sea area except Russian waters, Galapagos Archipelago, Ecuador, Canary Islands Archipelago, Spain waters. So Canary Islands, they are located in the Atlantic Ocean, but they belong to the Spain. Measures to control maritime activities, it's routing measures, mandatory ship reporting system, vessel traffic services. So in these areas, you can be a subject of control by traffic services. As we said before, there are two documents. It's one of them. It's a garbage management plan, and all ships of 400 gross tonnage and above, and ships carrying more than 15 persons shall carry a garbage management plan. And every crew member should be familiar with this document, follow these rules, and the captain is responsible for their behavior. So, and the second document is a garbage record book. So, for these ships, garbage management plan included a section 3 of ship sanitation control manual. On the previous presentations, we mentioned that IMO is creating these conventions, and requirements of these conventions are the minimum standard of garbage pollution prevention, yes, for measurements. But every company or country can create own extra regulations to increase, to higher up the regulations and requirements. For example, the sanitation control manual is part of the garbage management plan for the V-Ships company. This is one of example. So the plan should include the written procedures for collecting, storing, processing, and disposing of garbage using onboard equipment. Once again, every crew member should be familiar with these regulations. The designated person in charge of carrying out the plan. Of course, every captain is responsible for everything on board of the vessel, but usually captains, they delegate the part of his or her own duties to the chief officer. So the plan should be in the working language of the crew and adapted for individual ships. Of course, every ship is different. The crew members, the number, and other information can be different. So, and it should be individual for every ship. So regularly reviewed and checked by the master if it is being correctly adopted as part of his weekly inspections. So the captain should also take care about this document and work it out if there is some need. So garbage record book, discharge at sea. So the information also which should be written in the garbage record book is a date and time of discharge, where it was, or happened, when it happened, estimate amount in meter cube, yes, cubic meter. So category of garbage, name and the signature officer on the watch, which is responsible for this action. And at the end, of course, captain should also put his own sign. So garbage recovery discharge at harbor facility. So when you arrive to the port, so you need to discharge this garbage to the harbor reception facility. So date and time, name, berth or reception facility, estimate amount in cubic meter, category of garbage, name, officer on the watch. So same information to recognize in the future what, how many where and by whom it was done. So, port state control and operational requirements. So, we know that the PSC officers will check every foreign vessel which is arriving to the port. When in port, a ship can be inspected by authorized PSC officer. If the master or crew are not familiar with essential shipboard procedures, so inspector can check it, yes, by asking questions. So the preventing pollution by garbage, all should be done to ensure that the situation has been brought to the order. So it means the port state control officer can take some actions against the captain, or crew, or vessel itself. If ship's equipment is broken or missing or has suffered damages en route, port authority must be informed accordingly. So, and it should be fixed. Otherwise, the vessel can be detained. So it means nothing good for the captain, vessel, or crew. So European Union is working on the prevention of pollution by garbage from ships, by increasing, the requirements, hiring, putting up the regulations and requirements. So this is 100% compulsory delivery to harbor reception facility for every vessel. So of course you have to pay for, as a captain, yes, as a company. So you have to pay for it. So, and sometimes there are a lot of problems, yes. So as you see on the slide, there are difficulties, a lot of paperwork, good behavior, but you have zero as a reward. So inefficient control, yeah. So, and higher harbor costs. So because this is problem, so this is kind of wrestling happening in between companies and ports. So if there is no HRFs, so harbor reception facility, so we as a captain, you as a captain or officer, you have to report to MEPS, so Marine Environment Protection Committee. So you need use a standard reporting system, and a copy also should be sent to company. This is point where we finish our presentation, and please try ask some smart questions, send it to me. I will answer your questions if some points are not clear for you. And there are also questions from my side. Please try to answer these questions. Which ships must have on board garbage management plan? What should contain garbage management plan? What are abbreviations stand for GRB, HRF, PSSAs? So hopefully it will help you, and you will take this annex on your own use. Thank you very much for your attention. At this point, I say you bye-bye.